following is brought to you by Agri-Trend and the 2012 Farm Forum event.
We're here at the Farm Forum event, and Dr. Danny Klinefelter from Texas A&M University has just finished the opening address. And Danny, you're an expert in farm business management. You travel all over North America and internationally. Agriculture's been on a bit of a roll the last number of years, and people are pretty bullish. What do you think is some of the biggest dangers right now facing today's farmers?
Okay. Well, one is just the global economy. I mean, we've not just weather, but I mean competition globally. Like from where I'm from in the States, the value of the dollar as it affects exports and other things. Interest rates are extremely low right now, but that could change if we had inflation or the credit worthiness of our debt, for example, were to deteriorate. And I'm talking from the U.S. standpoint, but I think Canada and the U.S. are kind of joined at the hip.
Yep.
There's a lot of spillover effect, and I think that could just change the picture immediately. Another big thing that's happened up here, it's happened in the state. There've been land values appreciating, just skyrocketing.
Absolutely. We've seen tripling in the last 10 years.
And there is going to be a bigger demand for food and other things. But right now, a lot of investment in land is because people don't have any real good choices. Bonds aren't paying anything. CDs and banks aren't paying a lot. Real estate got hammered and other things. People are trying to diversify their portfolio. Outside of ag, people have been putting money in farmland. As farmers have been really successful, those that have cash are buying the stuff. Land, just like commodity prices, doesn't always go up. It doesn't correct as often, but if it does, people who have leveraged themselves up based on value equity, or not just earned equity, could find their financial situation a little stressed. Because one of the problems is if you borrow at all to buy that asset, you're locked in for those payments for a long time.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about yesterday with some farmers was that they're all of them debating whether they take on more land or not. And you talked a little bit about the strength of a farming operation. What are some of the things that you would look at in terms of assessing the strength of an operation before they made the move to buy more land?
Well, one, obviously, how heavily leveraged are they already? When they look back over time, the last several years, has their increase in earned net worth been good? Not just has their net worth on a market value basis gone up, but that net worth that's due to net after-tax income, after withdrawals added back, that needs to be positive. How much liquidity do they have? Do they have a cushion against a downturn for a year or two that they're able to absorb and keep moving forward? Obviously, management quality as a whole is critical. Their risk management ability, the people they have in place, how they've aligned themselves with suppliers, with outside consultants, with other farmers is a big thing.
Last question would be what-if scenarios. You talked today about running what-if scenarios. I found that very interesting. What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's probably overly simplistic for some people, but just say, given our previous experience and what people are telling us, what could happen, good or bad, that it would have a fairly major effect on the business? And it's not just saying, okay, how would that affect us? You know, one scenario is saying our cash flow statement, our financial statement, how would that impact us? But more importantly, what would you do if it did?
You talked about the 4 Ds.
In family business, we talk about the 4 Ds a lot. And those 4 Ds are death, disability, divorce, and departure. By departure, I mean some key member of the business wants out of here.
And so you're proposing that what-if scenarios are really important.
Critical.
You talked about putting in buy-sell agreements ahead of time. And
you don't want to wait until the crisis is upon you, because a lot of the strategies you can employ to mitigate that risk, you have to have done prior to it. Get your debt structured properly, insurance program. If you wait to the last minute, those options a lot of times aren't available, and plus you're reacting to emotionally, not having. It's like a football team. They scrimmage, they practice against an opponent. A general does that. He develops battle plans and said, what would we do if?
Well, that's awesome. Danny, I want to thank you very much for being at the Farm Forum event. It's been an honor to meet you, and our farmers really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
It.